All right, welcome back. We are coming out of the woods toward the pastures. And I actually had no intention of doing this video, partially because the sun's behind me and I'm always got that shadow of me and it looks ridiculous. The other part being, I don't want to bore you to death when I don't have any animals on the screen, but I did notice as I was walking some pretty heavy duty hawk activity, and I thought I would I'm not going to catch them on camera. Thankfully they were low flying over the pastures, but they were flying over the pastures and not necessarily hunting our animals, but hunting the pastures. And at this time of the year, all the animals, all the birds, everybody is hungry. The wildlife is hungry. Everybody's hungry. So our birds are pretty well protected. We've been very lucky that we found the magic recipe that keeps our birds safe, gives them enough room to be semi-free range, and provides them the security that they need. I don't know if you can see Tonka back here. He's just having a grand old time. With all the vegetation gone and everything's just dry and dead, the dogs are just running through what is typically impassable for them and for me. So they're just diving in and out of all these dens. They go on both sides. They're having a grand old time. And they're leaving scent behind, which actually isn't a bad thing either. So I don't bring them back here all the time. I do bring them back here maybe once a week, maybe once every other week, depending on weather. And that provides sort of a balance between them being enriched by wildlife smells and wildlife knowing that there are dogs that live here and probably need to be a little bit more on point. So I was talking hawks and got totally distracted. But here's the dunks. Dee Dee's absolutely sunbathing. She's not dust bathing. She's not mud bathing. She is sunbathing. Tonka's headed back into a den. Sophie's right behind him. For an old lady, she's got no fear and will go anywhere and everywhere without hesitation. Lord knows what they're finding in there. I don't probably want to know. Bailey's a little bit more content to be out and about out here. Anyway, hawks. So we do see a lot of hawks. I absolutely love when I see them low flying over the hayfield, right? That is perfect hunting ground for them. It's wide open. If there is a rodent or a snake or something in the hayfield for them to have at it. They will hunt the pasture because they do use these woods as a resting ground. A lot of times they will be roosted in these trees for a temporary rest. I don't think they spend the night there, frankly, because it's not much cover. You come out of the den, you didn't find anything exciting? Oh, even Sophie's coming out. But I do think that they use the pastures to hunt, and that is perfectly fine. What I have to pay attention to and what kind of stopped me and got me on this tangent is when they are hunting the property. If I'm around, I do keep an eye to make sure that they are hunting the pastures and the hayfield and the woods, and they are not hunting the birds. Our chickens are little. They're the chicken nuggets of the world. Everything and anything wants to eat them. And a hawk will take them out if they can. We have a lot of deterrence. We've been very blessed, again, that nothing in years has happened. And it's very rare for me to even see a hawk attempt it because between the fencing and, the specific space of the fencing, the birds being, surrounded by turkey and geese and other large birds, and the the pond itself, plus the fact that the turkey will alarm and the chickens know to run for cover. All of that combined works to our advantage, and the hawks have figured that out, right? This is a migratory path for them. New Jersey is, not just my place, obviously. And so, I welcome the birds here. I welcome them having a rest here. I don't mind them having a snack here, as long as the snack is wildlife. And that is typically what happens. So as I was coming through the woods, I did catch two, actually, broadwing. Were they broadwing? They might have been red shoulder. I'm going to say red shoulder, not broadwing, but don't quote me. My birding skills are a little rusty, and winter hawks are a little bit tougher than summer hawks. But at any rate, larger hawks come through at pretty low altitude. So they were definitively hunting, and it caught my eye and got me on this tangent. Meanwhile, we're coming up out of the woods. All the dogs are with me, which is always a positive. Hugo's waiting for us patiently, as always. Right there. Here's my little man. Keeping an eye on things, but also recognizing that at, 1 month shy and 9 years old, he's probably content to just stay a little closer to the house and the barn. So yeah, another bird activity, right? During this time of the year, we do feed the wild birds. I feed them away from where our birds are. We feed black oil sunflower, thistle seed, and we also do feed suet. All of that is done closer to our actual house, further from the pond and the birds, and that does us twofold things, right? It allows us to keep the wild birds away from our chicken, duck, and geese feed, right? They have their own food. It's their preference. They don't need to eat our birds' food. And it also provides a little bit less intimate contact bird to bird. And when you have avian flu or anything else going around, that's always a positive too. So I can't say we've trained the wildlife, but I will say that feeding them at these times of the year when things are, a little slim pickings, does keep all of the birds, including the starlings, which are incredibly invasive, out of the coop, away from our bird feed, and really away from the pond. About the only wild birds we see head toward the pond are Canadian geese at the beginning of fall. We always get a few that stop in for a swim. There's not much you can do about that. But we do try and, kind of balance, as always, the need to protect our wildlife, the need to protect our animals, and the need to live harmoniously. So that got a whole lot longer than anticipated, and it was a completely impromptu, unexpected discussion. So I will leave it there with a little shot of Olive having a happy day out in the sun. I'll try and round up the dogs and enjoy the rest of this day. I hope you are having a fantastic day wherever you are in this world. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Be kind. I'll see you at the next one. Bye for now.